Welcome back, everyone. Uh, I am your host, Julian. My name is Mr. Nobody today. Tyler is being the unperceived, as the unperceived does,
Yeah.
but I'm not alone. We
Yep.
got the reliable Keshawn back with us.
You know how I do. Low key to stampede, key to your hearts, key to life, and all those things. Just a key. It's how it go down, how it go up sometimes.
Yeah, always great to see you back, Key. Man, how have you been the last 7-ish days?
I've been okay. Finances are looking better, life is looking better. Just handling work, really. Just the Christmas rush is going on. So trying to get in between that and get stuff from my family, my nephew, and all these things. And that's pretty much it, really. And checking out my loved ones. How you doing, bro?
Man,
Loved ones.
Man, who are you telling? My 7-ish days has actually been a lot. But Christmas shopping, I was just mentioning it to you. I have not done any Christmas shopping.
Get it.
I can say this because
Like I said before, I get it. I did mine literally just this week. Do not think I'm above my time, like late time stuff. Sometimes Christmas happens after Christmas. Like,
honest, that's what I wanted to be. But the funny thing is, right? So this isn't even part of my 7-ish days. This is just about my Christmas shopping and everything.
yeah, go ahead,
So I
son.
was trying to do it ahead of time and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my Wi-Fi people, Xfinity,
Mm-hmm.
they was like, "Oh, you're liable, not liable. You're able to get like a free Apple Watch or something and everything, right?" I'm
Okay.
not an Apple person, but I'm like, free Apple Watch? Yeah, hand that over. Hand this to me.
Yeah, go ahead and break that off smooth, son.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give someone in my family an Apple Watch. I'm like, hey, cool. Someone's
Mhm.
gonna want this, right?
Right, right.
Oh, one brother, my sister already has an Apple Watch. I'm like, all right, cool. You don't need this.
Yeah, yeah.
One brother, phone is like almost stops working, so I was like, yeah, I should probably have a phone first before I get an Apple Watch. I'm like, you know what? Touche. And then my other brother, he's like, I just don't want an Apple Watch. I'm like, mm,
Who?
wow, okay,
Why does no one want an Apple Watch? And
okay.
I'm not saying this as an Apple person, as I speak from a MacBook. MacBook. I'm just saying, why don't nobody want Mac stuff? It's crazy.
Uh, I have no idea, but and I'm like, I can't give it to my mom because, well, can you use Apple Watch on a non-Apple device?
No, not I know of.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I do think you still can connect your number and it will still do it, but it'll be basically like an Apple. It'll be like the iPhone. Sometimes like you might have a Mac product and you can put your number and stuff in it, and it'll become like your
Mm,
designated Apple product. I think that's mostly what's probably going to happen. Mostly, probably.
okay. Yeah, because I'm like, if I could, I would give it to my mom, but I didn't know if it would work the way supposed to. But we will see about that. But my last 7-ish days, this was actually a very interesting one because I was actually in your place.
Yeah. You were here,
Yeah,
and I was literally in Indiana. How crazy is that?
yeah, no, and I had a really good time in North Carolina. I realized I cannot go in North Carolina, specifically Greensboro, and not meeting up with anyone. Um,
It's not going to happen, bro. It's like going anywhere where your friends are, and you're like, yeah, this don't feel right. I need to see somebody.
yeah, no, like I
It's
literally cannot. I know the whole. If you went to school with me and I knew you, there's a
not talking.
15% chance.
We gonna see each other.
Yeah, no, because I saw my friend Rashmi. Because she just graduated her master's program, I
Yes, I
believe.
saw, and I'm so proud of her. I love Rashmi.
Yeah, same.
Fellow Leos.
I saw old friend Asha. Asha, if you ever see this, uh, lovely seeing you. Frankie, I need to see you next. Let's see. I saw old high school friend that when I'm in the area I try to see, and
Mhm.
then the person that I met during back in September for the wedding, we hung out for a little bit, had a great time.
Mm.
Um,
What you mean y'all hung out? What you mean by
we
that?
hey,
All right, I'll leave that for. I'll leave
We
it on. I won't say that. I ain't gonna say that. No. I ain't gonna.
it was really just a lunch. It was just a lunch that we
All right.
had to reschedule because her schedule was very busy.
Yeah, I guess that's the lunch. This guy.
Well, Key, I was saying in your place, I'm pretty sure the door was not open to say, yeah, bring whoever you want in here. I think that was just in the
Yeah, I appreciate that. So yeah.
but no, but I will tell you something at the end of this.
Yeah, man, we leave that between us. Look, man, I'm gonna be real with you. I almost got in trouble last time because of the podcast. way back. So we don't need no replays. we really got.
Which episode? Because you've been on a couple of times. Which what, like the first time?
We'll talk about it off camera. I ain't trying to get in trouble.
Oh, okay.
You gonna get me in trouble. I don't know. Not saying you gonna do it, just saying it happened. We gonna get into it. We gonna get there. I promise.
We can get into it, but I'm just gonna use that as a pivot to get into the question and everything, right? This was supposed to be, for the listening audience, this was supposed to be a surprise for Tyler because she said she wanted to be surprised by a question, but something came up with Tyler. She's unperceived. What are you gonna do? So, Key, you have to hold it down for in Tyler's absence, and the question is going to be, what is wrong with the club? That is the question.
All right, what is wrong with the club? So I know when we were talking about this, I had a couple things to say about what's wrong with the club. Really, what's wrong with the club now is I'm gonna start it from here. So even when we were in school, people are afraid to be not perceived. I don't want to say perceived because that's the wrong way of saying that. But some people are afraid to have a good time or be seen having a good time, which I never understood that because I'm like, what's the point of coming out if you're not gonna have a good time? It doesn't seem like to make sense to me. But that's them. So a lot of people don't dance. A lot of people don't do things anymore like they used to. Like people don't. It doesn't seem like people genuinely enjoy themselves. And now anyone can prove me wrong. It'll be like, oh, that's just you. You don't go to enough clubs or you don't go to the right clubs. It could be it. But majority of me and my friends have been to a bunch of clubs, and all of them were either like dress coded out the ass. It's just kind of like they're either dress coded and not fun. And then let's be honest too. Like, I hate to go dark on this topic, but let's keep it all the way 100 as well. There's danger going to the club now too because people like to shoot up places. I ain't saying that's all the time, but it does happen.
It happens more frequently than it
easily
should have.
So I think there are like things in like there is certain like factors that cause people not to want to be in the club anymore. I'll say for me, my biggest thing was this goes for parties too. I absolutely hated going to parties and no one was dancing. And for some reason, like this is not just I want to put this in perspective. This was big at like A&T parties, any party that was thrown around when we were in college. I'm sure you noticed. And it can probably be that spans to a bunch of parties and clubs, but no one wants to dance anymore. No one wants to like do these things anymore because either the women don't want to dance or the men don't want to dance, or it's both. There's reading the signs are wrong. No one wants to read a sign wrong. No one wants to make anyone uncomfortable in the club. But the point of a club, I don't want to say is to get uncomfortable, is to be comfortable and have fun together and to be a little wild. It's a club. Like, let's have fun. Now, depending on what club you go for, it's different for everyone. There's jazz clubs or dancing clubs, it's literally food. It's a variety. But I know specifically we're talking about the ones where you want to go dance. You want to like, a girl might want to rub a little booty on you. You might be like, okay, I'm gonna catch that, something like that. You go out to have a cool club fit. You might have a club fit. You will get in. I mean, it's just to have a good time. You sweat a little bit. You dance. It's something where I think that is missing. I think it is coming back, but that leads into my other thing I was saying. As I watch TikTok and stuff, and as I always love music. I love music, right? So I listen to music that makes people dance and stuff. I'm very big on that. And I watch like these, I don't want to call them TikTok DJs because that's not what they are. They're DJs that I see on TikTok. So we're going to leave it there. Seeing how they have like little boiler room sets or sets in like maybe their apartment, or maybe they rent out an Airbnb and have a set. And which actually is a very smart idea. Now that I say that, it's probably not that smart. It's probably not new. But like they'll have these little small environments, and they just play their sets of music, like how they change them up, and it's like maybe friends, family, just there dancing, having a good time. But I see like how that little more, it feels like there's more intimacy there, but there's more people feeling free to dance, have fun, and do things. Now, I'm not saying like, look, we're only a small portion of America, whatever. So
Yeah,
we might not be going to all the dance clubs and stuff. Do
but
notice like how I'll be real, women right now are running away in the rap game, R&B game, really in all games, in the DJ game. Like I think I'm pretty sure there's more. I don't know if they do, but there's a lot of women DJs that people don't realize that be out here like killing the game. So and producers. So shout out to them.
yeah,
But I noticed like there's just a safe space, and I'm gonna be real with you. Like, not I'm trying not to make it too political, but as time goes, I don't see us going back into clubs. Hey, I'm gonna be so real with this, unless Donald Trump is not president. Like, I do think because this is a very sensitive time with like women's bodies,
yeah,
women identifying people's bodies, just bodies in general, but really women's bodies. I just think because part of going to the club, not saying it's to get women, but it's to interact with each other, do those
yeah,
things. But I'm like, if anyone, first off, as humans, don't feel comfortable going somewhere, they're not going to be there. And in the state that we live in right now, it's not the most comfortable. So I think those factors also key into why no one wants to really be there. But that could be me kind of like theorizing. But I do think essentially my key points are the environment we're in currently. People don't want, for the men's side, even I can say even when I was in college, I don't want to read the signs wrong and make someone uncomfortable while I can just dance by myself and have fun,
yeah. I completely agree with you because what you kind of hit it on the head of there's no intimacy in the clubs because like I'm also mad, not mad, but I do wish I went with to the clubs with you guys back in college because the one time for whatever reason that I was actually another reason. The one time I was going to go with you to the club, something came up and I just was never around to go clubbing. But I do think the intimacy of like me personally, I'm like if I'm trying to catch someone, that's kind of why I'm there. Well, that's not the reason why I'm there, but I'm like that is part
I
of it. Exactly. That's like part of the environment of the aesthetic of the club. But if
sometimes you go to the club looking for a person. That's normal. It's okay. Like that's
yeah,
what the club was usually meant for back in the day.
exactly. Like you want to dance with someone. Like that's the point of like that's
You
part of going
go
fun.
home with someone. You never know. That's the adventure of the club.
Yeah, but there's the couple of times I've been like you were saying, like you don't want to misread a signal because uh and mind you, me living in Atlanta, I've been to a couple for I don't
Well,
know.
I feel like Atlanta's the mecca of clubs, but I could be wrong. But more of like it's the mecca
The
of
thing
clubs, maybe.
even if I don't go, my sister goes and she's like, no one dances. Everyone's just standing around, just like not
See,
doing anything. Like
that-
no one. So I think that's one major thing that's wrong with the club is like there's no intimacy of just trying to get close to people, which I understand now because it's like you also said, it's become kind of unsafe for people to be in a club for whatever reason. With groping, with the shooting that you were mentioning, what other like just there's just so much that goes
I'm
into
real. And you can keep me censored. Motherfuckers be scaring the hoes, and that me and my friends. I'm not calling them hoes, but y'all be scaring niggas. Sorry, it's
yeah.
one of those things. Let me not say y'all, but you know what I mean. The
Yeah,
people who are out here carrying guns in clubs, ruining the vibe.
yeah,
You're
no,
population. Stop doing that.
yeah, no, that for sure. I'm someone who, I can have fun with anyone. Like as long as the vibes are, I'll vibe off of you. But if everyone's kind of tense, I feel it and like, all right, let me be, and I'm on high alert with when I'm coming with friends. Like I promise you, if I go into a club and I'm looking for like I will walk around, scan the area, look to see where my ex is at first, and then proceed to have fun as best I possibly can. But
Yeah, sometimes you gotta really know what you're looking at sometimes in a situation.
That's also that brings me. The environment of a club is not, in my eyes, the best on a safety standpoint, because let's say there was an emergency case. Let's just say there was a fire, right? Somehow
Mm.
there was a fire in the middle of the dance floor, and everyone's now running out towards whatever exit. That's now causing like a semi stampede.
Yeah,
Um,
having a
and
semi. Knowing if you're in a club and something happened like that, it is definitely causing some type of commotion.
Yeah, and knowing that doors, people just don't go through doors that way. You just kind of like stockpile on top of each other,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get out. It's basically like standstill traffic almost. So I know on a safety standpoint, that's also what's point. But and then just me, since we were talking about Christmas and finances and everything, I don't like always paying for the club. Like honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
going
I'm not.
going sometimes I understand, but me paying I'm just gonna say some absurd numbers. Like, let's say I have to pay $30 to get in.
Mm,
Why uh my female friends, I don't know if that's fully correct, whatever. But they
it's cool.
get in for like free $5, whatever. I'm
Mhm.
like, come on now.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be very with you. This is gonna be like a real thing, and it's kind of like something we talked about, like literally what I talked about earlier. I I like having a good time. All right, I like dancing, just in general. I'm a goofball in certain instances. Whatever.
Mm,
I believe if you're paying $10, whatever it cost, and you're looking fly and doing all this, and you go to, I'm saying this very specifically. I want to make sure this is hitting.
mm,
Specifically, if you go to a dance party and do not dance and you spend money, I will call you an idiot. Because what are you there for? If you are not
mm,
serving drinks, a security guard, even security guards be dancing. What are you there for?
No, you have a valid point, because
I
I
don't
know even
care, man,
me.
woman, them, they, it doesn't matter. What are you there for? Just to look
True.
good? Okay. You can go to a jazz club where you can literally sit down, chill out, and do the same thing.
Mm,
Where you actually have a purpose of doing that. I cannot stand when people just go to a club and not dance. It's
mm,
I will quote my friend, one of my alumni friends, Jessica Thibodeau, what she said. She said, "I can't stand some of those parties like that because they be standing around like slave parties. They're standing on the wall.
mm.
Like I never laughed out loud so hard before, and because it was accurate. It's a very accurate description of how that looks sometimes. Like
Yeah.
it's like, look, you can't be cool. Listen, you can't be cool just standing there. You're not Han from Tokyo Drift. Even Han had a car or something. But in a party, you just standing there with a drink, just like looking around. You look kind of weird. Like not weird. I mean, I don't want to tell people they can't be chilling at a party, right? Because some people are wallflowers. But what I'm saying is, going to a specific dance party, paying to dance and stuff, and not dancing is crazy to me. I always thought it was very crazy. I
Yeah, no.
in college whenever we went to parties and stuff, I hated it.
Mm,
Hated it.
yeah, no. I'm the wallflower that you were speaking of, but it's not like I'm just sitting in the corner, just like arms folded, like, oh, I'm too cool for this. No, it's me warming up. It's like, all right, people are dancing. I know
Like,
this. That
just
well, it's also due to the fact that I don't know a lot of the songs that people play, so I can't like be in the same emotional state as some other people. But I still, move my head, tap my foot, move around just a little bit, like. But no, that's just me for sure.
now there's nothing wrong with going to a party and
Yeah.
chilling. I want to make sure I'm very clear with this. I just don't like when people go to parties and basically don't dance and then stare at people dancing. Me, Nadira, and a couple of our mutual friends have went through
Yeah.
that. I was just like, I don't look. I'm gonna be real with you. At a party, I don't like people staring at me like that.
That
I just don't like that. I
no,
come
that's
from a
fair.
place. I do come from a place where, like, if people staring at you long, either something about to happen or they're gonna have to ask you something. So
True.
I now
Mm,
that doesn't always translate in the club very well. So that's when people be like, "Why are you looking at me?" or something like that.
yeah.
Women literally say like when they get drunk and stuff, someone bump into them, they're like, "No, they could have said excuse." It's literally almost in that same kind of type thing for me.
Mm,
Or let's just like stop looking at me and dance. You know, pro tip. Now, I'm not gonna say it work for everybody, but in the club, you dancing and the shorty looking at you dancing, maybe smile or something. She not dancing, be like, "You want to dance with me?" No, I think that's another thing, right? Don't be afraid to ask somebody to dance with you. That's how I'm going. Go
Okay.
ahead.
No, you literally just answered my question because I'm like, do you have any opinions about? Hey, I know everything we just said. So, do you have any opinions about like the woman who danced with their homegirls or whatever? But when a guy tries to do it, it's like no. And I've actually had this. Someone just like runs away or like walks away or something. Do you have
Yeah.
any opinions about
So
that?
I'm gonna be real with you. If you one of them people who like go to the club to open reject men or women, you're a lame. You're literally being what like cause someone who actually might want to dance with you and have a good time with you. Like this is I'm being genuine about this. Not people who are trying to like get something out of you, but people who like genuinely just want to dance and have a good time. Literally there for a good time, and you're just openly just there to reject people. You're weird. Like if you're into that sort of stuff, go into like kink shaming or something, bro. Like just do that. Or not, I don't want to say kink shaming. You know what I mean? It's like people who are there just to be jerks or just shouldn't be in the club anyways. Like
Yeah, no, that's true.
you can do
Because,
that.
like I said,
You can do that in real life and have open consequences anyway. But because like I've seen it in real time, like I won't say their name. I know the dude's name, but I will not say his name. But literally at like A&T's like block party or whatever, it was between the old mail place or the ticket office and that little turn where that's where they had it. Everybody was dancing, having a good time. One more dancing on man. One dude called like this woman's ass or whatever, was catching ass, and then she turned around. Mind you, it's broad daylight, right? So you kind of have to see who's dancing on you or who you're dancing on to some extent. But I guess to her, she didn't turn around to later. But she turned around and she's like, "Oh my god!" And I kid you not, everything in my body was like, you know, like women be like, "That's an ick." I got an ick from a woman, and I was like, "Ugh!" Like that is a very terrible display of character because obviously for my sexuality, I'm gonna be real. The dude wasn't even ugly. The dude was a handsome guy. I was like, I think really we're gonna have a different conversation. I don't want to go too deep on that. But the dude was just a dark skinned guy with more like African-esque features, but he wasn't ugly. Anything. He had on a cool fit. He was just having a good time. Like he's generally a good dude too, because I know him. So I was like, oh, that's weird. And then the women who saw it too were like, yeah, no, they won't even match on her energy. And so she went on. Like she went about her way realizing that she's not the main character of anyone's life, and everybody just kept dancing. Everybody was like, you know, everybody's kind of like more apologetic towards the guy or whatever, because it's kind of like that's a very bad display of character. But that's just one instance I've seen out in public because some people do it for like validation. Because some people are rejected in real life, they want to do it in places or in clubs and stuff like that to other people where they've been rejected. It's like, oh, you can't dance with me or this like that. And I'm not just talking to just women specifically. I'm just saying like in general, some people do. Like, but I have seen it more on the ends of like guys approaching women and they're like, no. Now, if a woman doesn't want to dance, that is totally fine.
That's completely fine.
I totally agree that some not sometimes, but people should just go to the club and enjoy being with their friends dancing and not have to talk to anybody or not want to. That is very fine of volition. But if you are going to the club to do that, we're like you're going to the vice versa of that. Like you're going to the club, I want to meet other people, I want to dance with some guys and women, anyone, right? But you're openly rejecting them for validation. I think you're lame. Like, because why are you in the club?
Oh, would you go to the club by yourself? That's I just thought about that.
I'll go to a jazz club by myself. I probably wouldn't go to a dancing club by myself because I believe because of my career, I've become more of a homebody. I do think I could fit in anywhere though. Like I just think that's kind of like what I do. I like you know I like to call myself the human capybara because capybaras be chilling with any type of animal for some reason. But that's just where I be at, you know. But it depends on what I'm feeling too. I don't feel like the most comfortable going to like a party club like by myself because I would like to at least have someone there with me, like to you know, some people are different. Some people are like, oh yeah, I go to the club by myself and have a good time. Like, yeah, that's cool. That's not me. I like to go with friends and stuff. Maybe meet a friend there or something, but not like I wouldn't go to like a party club by myself, but a jazz club or something. Yeah, I'll go by myself. That's still I can just be cut away in the corner, you know.
For me, if I probably want to go to the club by myself, especially a club, I would have to be, for lack of better words, tricked into going to a club by myself. Like I was supposed to meet someone there. They, for whatever reason, didn't show up. Yeah, if I get tricked into going by myself, be like, I'm supposed to meet someone at the club. You know me, I show up on time. So if you say be here at 9 o'clock, I'm there at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So if you say, all right, be there at 9 o'clock, I'll be there, blah blah blah. I'm like, well, I'm in line, I'm waiting for you. And he's like, go in, I'll meet you up and everything. That might be like the way I go to a club by myself, unintentionally. But other than that, I can't see myself willingly going to a club since it's not my ideal scene anyway. But I am with you. If I'm in there, I'm like, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Um, that's something that I do have to kind of get more used to is being okay. I'm not gonna say making a fool of myself, but just
enjoying yourself. Look,
yeah.
Once you realize you're not that silly on the dance floor, it's okay. You'll realize there are there's a lot worse things you can be on the dance floor than silly. So.
Yeah, no, but I promise you, and if I'm like really moving on the dance floor, there is someone that I'm thinking of, and I'm like, I'm gonna say I don't dance, like I don't think I can dance, but I can mimic people's movement very well. So I will think of like what my brother would do, what Nye would do, what DK would do. These are the people that run in my head. I'm like, oh, I can just do them.
But DK and Nye are some very good picks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So, and then, yeah. So I probably want to go to a club by myself. But the other question, this is actually a question that I'm purposely including in here because it was actually given to me from a different friend way back, like when this first started, and I'm like, I need to find a way to work this in here. Mm-hmm. This is actually why the question itself is what's wrong with the club? But would you be upset if your significant other took a drink at the club from someone else?
I think a little bit. Not like because I ain't gonna lie, I'm in territory. I'm not gonna lie, but it's also because I'm very protective. Like I think it's more of my protective nature saying like I just don't know what's in that drink. If the person is handing them the drink anyway.
Okay.
Now that is in the bar and they pay for it, I'm like, look, free drink, I guess. But I know my partner, she wouldn't do that. So she might. No. I don't wanna lie, she might take a free drink. Who knows? But she's like, no, I heard she's like, I don't know you. I don't know where that drink came from.
No, and that's
you know her.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no, and that's actually what I was gonna say because initially I was thinking, no, that's not a problem. Like, if you got a free drink, get a free drink. Like, it's not a problem. But then it's the safety factor of like what's in this drink. That's what I'm gonna have more of a problem with than you just like you getting a free drink isn't the issue. It's you don't know what's in that drink. I think that's where my problem would stem from.
Yeah, I think, and not to go too dark too, but it makes me think about like that's probably another thing.
We can go dark. We can go dark.
Like maybe that's another thing wrong with a couple of the predatory dudes and women around. Like the stories I've heard from like women about like, and I have to say this too. I do my best to not follow people in the club. I like any parties I went to. I called a dance or something. I'm like, okay, I need to get far away from this person as possible. And it sounds crazy, but it's just because if you have women friends, like most human beings should have anyway. If you just have like those people in your corner, you will hear stories about how there's creepy dudes who will follow them throughout the club, do this. I'm like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. Now, I will say I am one of those people who will be like, hey, would you like to be my next partner for the rest of the night? Just before I was taken. So this is when I was single, when I was younger. But that was just like, that was my way of initiating saying, hey, I really like the vibe we had dancing. I'll let you continue that vibe throughout the night, if that's okay. And it can even be said like that. But if they say no, that's fine. You go your own separate ways. And listen, I believe in getting the fuck up out of there.
Yeah, no. Part of the book club I'm part of, we kind of talk about this a lot, where this kind of it stems from a lot more, and I'm kind of nitpicking it, so take this with a grain of salt. But it's like this kind of happened. Not saying that I'm not trying to victim blame or anything, but there's like the not trying to feel creepy for at least men came from like the Me Too movement, because now it's like I don't know what's seen as creepy or what comes from like, oh, I do this and I don't know how you perceive me, so to prevent that if you're a good person, or if you mean, I'm just gonna say, if you mean well, you try to avoid everything that you've heard is like this was wrong, this was wrong, this was wrong. So I
Yeah,
think that also is
I get
how we get into this situation of where we are trying to be respectable,
mm-hmm.
but also trying to, I guess, do things that I don't know how I'm trying to say this. Trying to do things that back in the day was more acceptable. With things changing, with circumstances changing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things have changed with time, and a lot of things stay the same. I think one thing, like, some people got to realize is like, real life is out here. Like, you got to go touch grass and talk to other people to see what real life is about. So I would say, like, one of the things, I'll give a good example. Like, I have to say a lot of college stuff because that's where mostly my party life was.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't really do much clubbing and stuff, but I do get stories from like you and I and them. And I've been to some clubs. I've been dress coded a couple times. It's very funny, but I'll give it like an old story, like how I approached this one young woman at this college party, house party we were at. I think it was like me. Who were the suspects there? Usual suspects. I think it was like me, Nye, Marvin, and Trey, or some other people. But we pulled up to this house party, and it was fun. Everybody was dancing, having a good time. Some people didn't know how to dance to certain songs. You know, them.
That would be me. That would be.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just saying there were some didn't know how to dance. You know. But it was just funny. But I remember like I was dancing with this one woman. I was like, oh, got a preface. I was in college. Got to make sure preface in college. I was
you really trying not to get in trouble again.
Listen. I did not need that. I was in college at the time, and I approached this young woman. And I was like, "Hey, would you like to dance?" Simple as that. And she was like, "Sure." And we danced. We had a good time. Funny enough, she ended up asking me my name and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, that's a change because usually the guy asks the name where you're from and stuff like that." But I was like, no, like, that's cool. Like, I'm this so and so, I'm so and so. Exchange things, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I was like, if I see her again, and I was like, this is literally what I thought. I said, if I see her again, I'll ask her for a number or something. Nah, I think what happened, I was like, okay, if I see her again and we happen to talk again, I'll ask her for a number. So we actually did end up seeing each other again in the party. And one of the things, it was kind of not cramped, but it was very like, it was kind of like, it was a house, but it was kind of cramped. So, there's so many places you're going to end up running into each other again. But my thing was, we had a dance, we had a good moment, we had a good talk. Let her be where she wants to be.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. Like, let me have fun with my friends. That's what we're here to do. So that was cool. Ended up seeing her again, got a number, but I said, hey, can I talk to you? And so I grabbed her hand and said, is this okay? All the formalities, but basically grabbed her hand and took her to maybe a spot where maybe her friends could still see her, because that's important. You don't want to drag this person off. You know what I'm saying? Like
I said, you have to be very careful about what you do.
And so we talked, and I was like, hey, is it okay if I get your number or whatever means of communication you're okay with? Whatever you're comfortable with, it's cool. She was like, yeah, you can have my number totally. And then when her guy friends came, they're like, hey, is everything okay? I was like, yeah, sure. Like, you can talk to her. Like, I'm not trying to cut in, He was like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, no, just making sure she's good. And like, nah, it was nothing like hostile or anything. He was just checking on his friend. And she was like, yeah, no, we're fine. And, then I was like, I'm like, since I'm thinking, all right, I got her number. This is definitely a closed deal, technically speaking. So I was like, hey, would you like to dance for the rest of the night together? She was like, I still want to dance with my friends tonight. But I'll see you back out there. We do a thing. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, sure. Thank you. And I'll definitely text you later or whatever. She's like, okay, cool. And it was a very chill thing. But I know through that entire time, I had a plan, but I also didn't have a plan. It was kind of like, if this happens, this is what happens. This is how you do it. But I will say, here's some keys for some people, right? No pun intended. If you're going to ask someone for a number or any means of communication, make sure you guys have at least a substantial conversation to get that number. And she doesn't want to give that her number with. It's like, hey, was this okay? Instagram, something like that. Like, whatever means of communication she's cool with and comfortable with giving away, be okay with that. That's her saying, hey, I'm comfortable giving you this. This is how we can talk. You're still gonna have open means of communication with her. And if not, that's okay. You live on another day. Rejection is not the end of the world.
Yeah, no, that definitely goes beyond just clubbing for sure. I was talking to, mind you, I have a not habit, but this past couple years, I've been talking to people who working, but that's besides the point.
Careful now, don't get in trouble now.
So no,
Trouble.
that's literally how it started. She joked around with me, and what's and I'm like, hey, I really said, I'm like, you don't have to say yes. Like, if I'm bothering you, let me know. I will leave. She's like, no. So we talked a little bit, and I'm like, and I'm telling her, like, I don't. She was like, I asked her, like, do you have a? Can I get your number? And she was like, okay. I'm like, not my number, but my Instagram. And but here's my thing, right? I technically don't have an Instagram, technically. But I even mentioned this. I'm like, I don't have one, but I have one for like the podcast, like the business Instagram and everything. Long story short, I get her Instagram, message her, never respond, but I'm like, all right, cool. I've tried at least, but no, but you make a valid point of like, I had a communication first, and like it wasn't like the immediate like, hey, let me get your number. I think you're pretty. No, we had like genuine kind of conversations for like a couple of days, actually, before I asked. But yeah.
I'll say another key, like for like as we go into the topic what's wrong in the club, let's try to give out some keys for like young men and men out there who might be listening. I'll say this. I have to say this because even I think men, even at our age or even older, don't know how to do this. If you're gonna approach a woman in a club, please be respectful. You don't have to grab onto her. You can just tap her shoulder, like, "Hey, excuse me." You know the usual thing. You can like I'll say you do not have to touch her. When I talked to the young woman I talked to at the house party the second time, I was like, "Hey, excuse me, can I talk?" And I said, "Hey, Melly, like, can we talk over here?" And I led her that way. I literally led her to where I wanted. I grabbed her hand and said that was okay. Cool. Like, these are the times where I think like women want to be led in these instances, or not even be led. Like, if you're taking an initiative, the initiative, make sure it's an initiative like she sees it too. Like, and so I'm not saying I'm proud of myself for doing that, but I'm glad that like I remember that story so well because it was one of my favorite stories because it was also a great party in like like one of my favorite parts of that story is that when her guy friends came and checked on her. Because you know how serious we are about our homegirls and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a beautiful moment for me, and it always made me feel good as well. That she was like, "No, I feel safe and everything. We're just getting like exchange numbers." I'm like, "Cool." So one of those key things about that is like, don't be afraid to like approach. Like, actually, be afraid. Be afraid. Anything can happen. You might have to dodge a bullet or something, but be afraid, but don't let it stop you from meeting new people. I'll say that. I know it's been said plenty of times, but I'll say this now: being rejected openly behind closed doors don't matter. Rejection is not going to kill you. One no, someone else is yes. Like, I'm gonna be real. The girl you might be aiming for might say no, but her homegirl might say yes, and it turns out her homegirl's cooler. Like,
that's so funny.
Could be, you aiming for that one homeboy, you turn like, I hate to say it, but you hear this all the time with certain jokes with women. Women be like, "Oh, I got my boyfriend," but then I saw like the rest of his friend group, and I was like, I hear that joke, and I'm like, don't sound too good. But it's kind of like it's simple approaches. And I'll even say I give some keys to women like how to approach men. Same thing, really. Just like, excuse me, you look like maybe interesting. Now, in my case, I will say, me and this woman did like me and a young woman at that party did dance first, and then the second time we saw each other, we talked. So maybe have that rapport, but I do think this in general have a rapport talk to this person. That's why it's important, like, to kind of step away from the party a little bit, get to like maybe somewhere quiet, but still seeing her friends can see her, and your friends can see you. Like, make sure you're both safe. If there's an open bar or something, go to the bar real quick, or like maybe if they got tables. If they got tables, maybe just go to a table. It's a little bit quieter, talk, and that's what they want to do. And they have and everyone has consent. They can say no, and that's okay. You're like, okay, cool. So you might not see him again. Guess what? You might see someone new you might like, and you can try again. That's the best thing, I guess. Man or woman, man or woman, they don't matter.
True. I'm gonna add on to your point because yes, you can approach, but something especially for guys, don't approach. This is something I heard. Don't approach back. Don't do it. Be like in her line of her sight and then approach.
Yeah.
Like do not.
Yeah. Like now, I'll say in some cases, I think like
Yeah,
even if you have to go around, do that instead.
yeah, exactly. Because it's just so much better that way. Don't approach from the back because it kind of helps with the woman at least. So at least because imagine you getting tapped from the back and you don't know who the hell is tapping in a public area. Don't just.
I can say I'm like I am one of those people who are like, excuse me, I'll like cut.
Yeah,
I will literally cut the air. Like, excuse me.
Like, you know me, I disappear on everyone. I'm silent. Dude, so imagine me just showing up behind you.
Why you call Mr. Nobody and Danny Phantom? There's a reason why.
Yeah, nah. So
I like. I'd even say like if you know the vibe, I don't want to go too deep on this line, but if you know the vibe and you approach from behind, but you can be like, "Excuse me, I'll like to talk to you," then move around to the front. That might can work depending on the vibe, but I still say approach from the front.
Yeah, I will easily say approach from the front. Be seen.
If it's packed out the ass and you have no choice, then it's like okay. But if you're that's different. That's just situational. Oh my god. Yeah, like for real. Do not be afraid to ask, can you dance? Can we dance together?
I've done it many times.
Like
I'm speaking my mind a lot.
I've been afraid, like I'll be real. I've been so afraid to ask that question, like way back when I was single and stuff. I was like, oh my god, why am I afraid? Like, because you're afraid of rejection. That's really the real thing. But no one wants to be embarrassed or be told no, right? But it's okay. You still live another day. Every single time I was told no, that was a yes, and we had a good time.
No, you're absolutely true. This leads into the story that I have to tell you when you're not recording. But I have two more questions for you. I always have these backup questions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one that I haven't heard before. Would you go to the club with your parents?
Now here we go, because I'm silly as shit, right? Yes, I'll go. Now this is only these are two sessions. One is a jazz club, and it has to be like cool, chill out. It could be like maybe a double date for them to meet my partner. That could be something. Other section is I just want to cause hell, and I just want to see what it's like. And I just want to see what's going to happen. That's just me. But I don't know. Other than two exceptions, no.
Me, this is the reason why I even thought about this question is because technically I did do this because
Julian, you went to the club with your mom and dad?
Yes, because it was on a cruise and everything. Right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
So I'm like, and originally I didn't want my parents to be there because I'm like, I know what I'm trying to do. I know what my parents like.
Hey, this man, so I'm trying to get something cracking.
He's exactly, but I'm like it because the club
parents can ruin the Riz. Parents can ruin the Riz.
Look, all right. Like I said, I know my parents. They probably were. I don't know. I know my mom for sure would probably have will feel some type of way. But either way, but me being me, I know I'm not. If they're there, I'm not trying to catch anyone with my mom and dad present. Yeah. But with that said, though, I will. Also going to the club. That's for like younger crowds. Yeah. You're not gonna like the music here. Like, mom, I know you. you not going to like the music here. But
they hear that the baby music one time. They're like, man, who the hell is the baby? Why they playing the baby?
Yeah, no, but on the cruise ship and everything, they were playing like older music and like just like literally dancing music. No throwing ass or anything. So I was just dancing with my mom, and I'm like, all right, cool. I have no problem with this. And I think she really did enjoy how she had a really good time. And this is how I know I'm like, yes, I'm a how you describe a wallflower and everything, but I'll still dance. Like I will, um, yeah, I'll move a little bit just to like I'll do something. But no, I think she really did have a good time and she appreciated it. But granted, as soon as it got so bad, the DJ was warning us. Was like, all right now, if you're at a certain age, I'm about to play some very young music. You might want to get off the dance floor. There was 3 warnings.
I want to keep score. You might want to check.
Look, I can't remember who. I can't remember what song it was, but
probably some Megan or some Glorilla.
Either way, but I knew the song immediately. I'm like, Mom, we have to go. We have to go now. I actively got my mom off the dance floor immediately because I think the clock struck 12, and he's like, "Yeah, we got to go."
Not you telling your moms we got to go. I'm sorry.
No, I said we have to go because I knew exactly what was about to happen, and I'm like, no. But yeah, no, I
man said,
but,
he really said, not here.
Not no. But if the occasion were to occur again, I can't see myself going only because again, I'm not a club person. Like I think I mentioned that before. I'm not a club person. Mm-hmm. So me going out to the club with my parents, I'm like, why am I here? And me personally, I'm more of a kickback person. That was always my go-to scene in college. I was a kickback person where
I love a good kickback.
Yeah, kickback where people were playing games, some people were dancing, some people were playing cards, a lot of people were drinking. Like that's my scene. There's not a lot going on.
Like, how can I say this? It's something about like I think because clubs, you don't know what you're gonna get with a club sometimes. I generally think that is one of the reasons the club has changed. And people, I think we also have to let go of nostalgia. Like, I think we can learn from nostalgia, but we have to sometimes let it go because we grew up around that era. So we know like those 90 clubs, music videos, stuff, they was jumping and stuff. So we're expecting that. And you get standing around. It's like that expectation has died. Not every club is like that, though. Not every party is like that. But I do think that it is okay to let the party die on certain things. And then let it restart with something new.
I think that's also due to the fact that we are now people have more access to record people. And I think that's also part of why clubs have died down because if anyone did something spectacular in any way, shape, or form, or eye-catching, or it's now being recorded, and now that's being shared with everyone. So I think that's also part of why clubs have what's wrong with clubs and why it's not like it used to be is because people can record.
That's another thing. Some people just go to the club to record a video themselves, and I guess that's fine. I don't know. They ain't hurting nobody, so I guess it's okay. Let me say, I guess it is okay. I do think it's kind of like, let me say, it's lame because it's like it's not lame for you to go to a club and just record yourself having a good time. It's different. Though I do think the purpose of going to a club to record yourself is kind of weird. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think. If you're at the club and you dancing or whatever, you still have to pull out your phone, like, oh yeah, like it's a good time. But I think it's weird to go to a club with the purpose of recording yourself. You get what I'm saying? There's a difference.
It's kind of like if you go. This is how I thought about it. At least it's like you went to a concert just to record yourself being at the concert, but not enjoying the concert.
There you go. Everybody wants to record themselves
having fun.
Well, I got it right. Here it is. Everybody wants to record themselves being at the moment, but no one wants to be in the moment for real.
Yeah, no. That's right there.
That's a problem right now. Everyone wants to record. Everybody wants documentation that, hey, I was there having this moment because everybody wants to be exclusive. People would know you were like, listen, you forgot. People would know you were in the moment because you can tell them how you were in the moment. Like you can tell so well that you're not lying. Now you're just a liar, and people just know you're lying. That's just you. That's your own fault.
Well, that's you problem. You made your
you know. But if you are genuinely in the moment, you won't have to create the story or the fantasy. People will see just from the energy from you. It's like, oh yeah, he was there. Like a
Mm.
picture and stuff was the last thing in his mind. That's why a lot of times when I go on trips and stuff, you don't really see pictures. Like, I think the most pictures I take are of an airplane. I just think seeing clouds at that level looks
no,
so.
it's nice.
It's so.
It's really
That's
nice.
it. Any other time when I'm on a trip, I'll find some art or something to take a picture of, but that's it. Like
No, I don't even take
I'm
pictures.
enjoying. I'm in the trip. I'm in what I paid for. Like I'm
Oh,
there, and I think that's
no,
what too. Everybody
I'm
wants.
with you.
I think also people want to create a moment too. Like it's okay. It's like have fun. But I get it. I don't want to say I was young once. I'm literally, this is our business, but I'm in my 20s. I'm not old. It's just I think when you're younger around that time, you get it. Like you have those feelings. I think for me, like when I recorded myself being like hanging with my friends and stuff at a party, it was usually because I saw something funny and I needed to get it on camera. That was about it. But other than that, I didn't care about prestige and stuff like that. I don't want to say that's what people care about, prestige, but I think more people care about the clout of being at the moment instead of actually being in the moment. It's like me winning a Grammy, but I'm more caught up in being at the Grammy.
Recording.
Yeah. Like recording
trying to show off that you're at the
Grammys. And it's like, dude, you just won a Grammy. You're the moment.
Okay.
You get it? Like you don't have to record yourself to be at the moment. Become the moment.
Yeah, no.
Keys, man. Keys, bro. Hand them out.
Yeah, no.
Know me, man. Like
I definitely agree with you.
Like a lot, and look, I'm gonna be very with you. Everyone wants to be a main character in their life, or everybody wants to be a side character. I like being a cool side character. Everybody wants to have a moment where they're like they popping. I get it, but clout only lasts for so long.
That's true.
Like sometimes I tell the same 3 stories over again because they funny.
Oh, absolutely. I promise you, I say the same stories over and over. But that's just because there's not. Well, actually,
not for clout, but
things. Yeah, no, there's certain things I'm like, yeah, this is a pivotal point in my point, but no, I'm full of stories for sure, and because I like to, be in the moment. I'm right along with you. If I go on trips or anything, I don't take pictures. Like, there's very little pictures of me anywhere.
Yeah, people get mad. My parents got mad at me when I went to New York one time. They're like, "You ain't taking no other pictures." I'm like, "I don't know.
I'm here. Like,
I'm here.
This is my memory. Like, this is
my picture. This me looking around. It's my picture, bro.
This is my memory. I'm not trying to share my moment with the world. Well, no.
Yeah. Oh my God. Speak on that. I'm not trying. Look, that's another thing too. Like content creation, content farming has also. I don't want to say it's ruined the club, but I do think there is a way. Like it probably segues into it. But the idea of like being at the moment but not being in it, and then try to put it for clout on Instagram because everybody likes being the center of attention. I mean,
it's the FOMO. It's the fear of missing out.
Everybody, you put that on Instagram, Twitter, like, oh man, I wish I was there. Damn, I wish I was there. Like, it's that feeling. And you get to be like, yeah, I was there. But then somebody asks you about, oh, did you like that other set? You like, what other set? He's like,
yeah.
Right. Like, you don't remember what he did, this little thing? He's like, oh, I was on my phone. It ain't a problem. But I do think there's a problem when you're trying to be emo. Like, I really want to say this really, like, I'm trying to make sure I'm not saying it wrong. Be the moment organically and genuine. Like, just be there.
Yeah.
And the moment will come where you can record and stuff, and it'll be so much better than just trying to be at the moment or to create the moment. It's almost it's really that thing of let it flow. It's really like as a way of like art corny talk. I can say an artist in me. Sometimes you just gotta let it flow, and it'll just bang, bro. It's like rapping, writing, just let it flow sometimes, and it'll just happen. It's just like love. So, like, I mean, you do with integrity and intention.
Yeah.
But sometimes you let it happen, and it just happens.
No, I agree with you because that's kind of how this podcast is. Before I let you go, I know I asked you for an hour of your time, but there's something that I also want to just.
You need more, man. You got more time. It's cool.
Appreciate it. No, I'm gonna let you go soon. But something that you mentioned earlier was I think the other part about like the fear of missing out, people recording. I think the other part of that is when people are able, the age that when people go to the club, it's their sense of freedom.
Yeah, like so it's in my soul to say this. I do think you might I don't want to say you age out of a club because I think that's where you gotta find out, you find your community and find what club nights it. That's for real clubbers, you pick a club night. Like I guess like, oh, this is a club for people who are 30 and up or
True.
people who are 20 and in their early 20s. It's I think that's when you were like when you're a serious clubber like that, that's when you know when to pick those environments because for me, I'm thinking me personally, I feel like I age out of the club. Maybe it's because I'm an old head too in my own right. Like I aged out of the club at like maybe I don't see my mentality, but I might have aged out of the club around senior year of college. But also, we got to remember, we had was it 4 years of COVID? Good God, it might have been
20,
2 years,
like,
two and the three. COVID's still around, but we're not gonna go
yeah,
there. Um, that 2 years, I was just kind of like, I don't really seek to be in a club like that. I don't know,
yeah, no, I
but
no, I completely understand you.
I will say I do seek to have fun with my friends and dance around at the food. Like, if I could say one of the past people I knew in my past, she was a 6'2" woman, taught me like it is okay to dance and look kind of foolish. Because I always think I'm this big dude dancing, and then I'm like, then she's like, "Why do you care? Let us dance." And I saw her act fool and stuff, and everybody not acting the fool, but you know what I mean.
But no, she was being herself. She was
Just
being in the moment.
and everyone around her was just kind of laughing, just joining in. And I was like, "Look, man, sometimes you just need you just need to retouch. You might need somebody to replant your feet sometimes." So
True.
it's one of those things where like you really gotta look at. I will say on like my final two notes. As we close it out, right? I do think the club is coming back with like certain hits. Like again, I want to repoint this on. The women are killing it right now in the rap game. Like, and I would say the R&B game too. People keep saying R&B is dying. Stop. And I want you to leave this uncensored. Stop saying that R&B is dying. That is the most dumbest shit I've ever heard. You still have plenty of artists. R&B is such a base thing in blackness. And there's so many black people around the world. And R&B is everywhere, in different languages, in different cultures. It's just like it's right there. It's not dead. It's still here. You just don't want to listen to the artists who ain't making music for you. Sometimes your favorite artist ain't making music. Guess what you do? Find someone else. There's a reason why I was like, listen, if Sis is not dropping, there's Leon Thomas. If it's not Leon Thomas, there's Joyce Rice. If it's not Joyce Rice, there's Meta. If it's not her, it's Clea Soul. If it's not Clea Soul, it's Georgia Smith. If it's not Georgia Smith, it is Snow Aguilera. It's like there are women out there making R&B great again. And there are men too. There's Lucky Day. I'm doing my rant. I'm gonna go. I go in so hard about it, but I just want people to stop saying that because within why I say that is because there's so many R&B hits and rap hits that are now going to be in the club. Like I can guarantee you right now, the club is dominated most likely with like women of songs right now. I can guarantee you, I guarantee you, Glorilla and Sexy Red and Megan, Lotto, all the women are being played in the club. There's no way they're not. Victoria Monet, these women, Kalani, all played in the club. There's no way they're not. So that's why I'm saying like club is changing, and as I've seen it, it's getting better. But I think as time grows, I think more people are wanting more intimate kind of clubs or maybe intimate settings to dance and have fun and feel safer in. Because now, really, everyone wants to just feel the safest they can feel right now.
That is
a lot. We are literally on edge. There's literally a war, like 3 or 4 wars going on across the pond. A mass genocide going on. Multiple mass genocides. Sudan, Congo, like Palestine, like all these things are happening. And I'm pretty sure Russia and Ukraine are still fighting.
Yeah, no, they are.
So it's and then us in America, like it's a very on edge point of time right now. So
that's true.
I would like to say, if there is a place to have fun and be at a club, do it healthily, have fun, be in the moment. Life is going to keep life, and there'll always be things happening. Get your resources right. Support what cause you can. Nurture your community. Give back when you can. Just do that. That's all my that's all I can say. That's all
Dang, team. I was gonna say because I was gonna say my last point was going to be is like just what you said was like yes my you can't age out the club. That was going to be my only point. And I was gonna say the floor is yours. You can say whatever you want, but if you have more, the floor is yours. Thank you so much, Key. The floor, like I said, the floor is yours. You got the floor. You can say whatever. You can shout out whoever, anything.
Shout out to my partner. She's amazing. Shout out to my friends. You're amazing as well. I know it's past his birthday, but happy belated birthday to Troy.
Happy birthday, Troy.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Whatever. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Build your levels, be safe. And remember, just because there's a traffic delay, just think of it as God telling you, hey, something happened. You get there in the time. That's all I gotta say. That's really
all right, cool.
Oh, wait, one more thing. Being kind does not kill you. Be kind. Seriously. Being kind will not kill you. It is an action in itself. Do not expect something back from being kind. It is literally what it is. Being kind. Please do that.
I like it. I like it. I always I'm gonna just close this thing out with several things that I need to do. First being to tell the audience, hey, don't forget to listen to all these past episodes because there is the scavenger hunt that's coming up and everything. So you gotta want to pay attention to that.
Y'all know the details. Tune into the scavenger hunt.
Let's see what else. Don't forget to there's so much. Man, I don't know. Do the survey that's at the bottom of the description.
Do the survey. Like the boys say on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. All that.
No, he said his best, and then my thing is always going to be a quote because I'm just full of them. And so this quote comes from the book actually. So the quote is from the book, The Business of the 21st Century, and it is: if you were bored with life, it's time for you to go after a new dream.
You might need to repeat that for the people in the back.
All right, for the people in the back, right? If you're bored with life, it's time for you to go after a new dream.
And real talk, never stop dreaming. You never real talk for the people in their careers. You never stop being a student. So
true, very very true. But appreciate you, Key. You know how I like to close out. Don't forget to ask yourself, ask others, and never stop asking questions. See you.
Peace.